I am Marwan Cameron, and this is the Conduit. All right, y'all. It is Hump Day, middle of the week. It's Wednesday. 46 degrees in Kitsap County. Windy, wet, all that good stuff. Fall is here. Hope you are doing well. I am. Sorry about that. I'm doing well. You know what we do Wednesday night. It's our weekly series with Pastor Ellington. So that should be, always look forward to Wednesday nights with Pastor. Unfortunately, Pastor won't be with us this evening. He's not feeling well. So we're going to go ahead and continue the show. And I've had a conversation that I've been wanting to have for a while. And it's perfect timing. And it's one that we were going to get to in our conversation, right? Because as you know, this is our little ongoing series, right? But tonight I want to talk about loyalty. What is loyalty? Let me put that in the chat. What is loyalty? Now, there's a standard definition of loyalty, and I'll pop that up there in a second. But what does loyalty mean to you? What does it mean to you? What is loyalty? And what does it mean to you? Question. Can you be loyal if a person isn't loyal back? Can a person be loyal to you and you not be loyal to them? Is that possible? If it is, have you done it? Are you guilty of it? Loyalty. That's a hard one. And when do you decide to withdraw your loyalty? That could be tough. Right? Maybe you met this person and you've established this relationship, and over time, it could be a friendship, it could be romantic, it could be business, and there's a sense of loyalty that is established. But what happens when that loyalty is no longer there? How do you know when it's gone? Are there certain things, right? In a relationship, it might be infidelity. It might be drug addiction. Could be gambling. Could be abuse, physical or verbal. All those things can be considered disloyal and cause you to withdraw your loyalty to that person, that organization. So how do you define it? I would assume that people would look at loyalty and say, loyalty means this to me, but it may mean that to you. And as humans, we're horrible communicators. So I have an idea of what loyalty means, and I have these unspoken expectations that I expect for you to have, right? Because I'm loyal to you. And then if and when you don't do that, then you're being disloyal. And the converse can be true, right? So you have this unspoken expectation for me, and you expect me to be loyal to you. And then if I do something outside of that, then you're like, well, he's not being loyal to me, right? And so, depending on what the scenario or situation is, man, this person was disloyal. But right now, I need this person. So, you know what? I just got to take it right now. Some people are like, you know what? I don't care. I'll just do bad by myself. I ain't going to be around no disloyal people. And that's fair both ways, right? But it depends on the scenario and the situation. You may be dependent upon your housing, your very basic needs, shelter, food. And so you must remain loyal. Maybe it's a company or organization. Right now, that's paying your rent. Maybe it's the church. I mean, after all, is your church on fire? Now, this is more metaphoric this evening, right? Because we could talk about the church, which is ultimately what these Wednesday night conversations are about. But what is your church metaphorically? Is it your household? Is it your romantic relationship? Is it a friendship? Is it a business partnership? Is it a coworker? What is it? Is your house on fire? Do you have people around you that are loyal? Are you trusting disloyal people? It's got to be a hard way to navigate. And is your loyalty understood by both parties? This is what I expect from you to be loyal, and this is what you expect from me to be loyal. And those things don't have to be the same, right? The same with friendship. We talked about that back in February. How do you define a friend? What makes a good friend? Those are going to be different answers for different people. The requirements are going to be different, right? I know that, you know, I'm a good listener. So many of people that I would say are my friends can rely upon me to listen and give sound advice. But their friendship for me may be different, right? That's not a place that I'm going to go and seek advice from because they're not in the same place in their life that I'm in, let's say. So the friendship is going to look different, but it's still a valued friendship. So loyalty can be quite convoluted and difficult to define. But again, I ask, when do you decide to withdraw your loyalty? What does it take for someone to lose the loyalty that you gave to them? And there's difference between loyalty and respect, right? There are times when we haven't respected a person and we've been loyal to them anyway. We can talk about really obvious ones, right? We can have visceral examples like, let's say, R. Kelly. People were loyal to R. Kelly, friends, family members, whether they knew or didn't know what he had done, right? They loved him, they liked him, whatever the case may be, and they're going to have a sense of loyalty, even if they didn't respect him. Now, what's interesting, my dad, when I was growing up, was very strange because he didn't talk like other parents. So he was very clear. Like, you don't bring drugs into my house. If you do, I'll call the police myself. And he'd have the drug dogs come out. He didn't play that. And so it wasn't a thing of, doesn't matter what you do, you're my son. and I'm not going to let you get in trouble by the law. No, you break the law, you're going to do the time. Had a very different viewpoint on that. And my experience growing up, speaking with different folks is, their parents were like, it didn't matter what their kids did. Didn't matter what they did, how dead wrong or evil they acted. They're going to be loyal to their kids and do or say anything to try to keep them out of jail. So I never understood that. That was a hard one for me because I wasn't raised that way. From Wiki, go ahead and pop that up there. Loyalty in general use is a devotion and faithfulness to a nation, cause, philosophy, country, group, or person. Philosophers disagree on what can be an object of loyalty, as some argue that loyalty is strictly interpersonal and no other human. I can't get the whole thing on there. That no other human being can be the object of loyalty. The definition of loyalty in law and political science is the fidelity of an individual to a nation, either one's nation of birth or one's declared home nation by oath. That's from Wikipedia. But I think a lot of folks kind of look at it as, I'm down, right? I'm down like 4 flat tires, Bonnie and Clyde. But again, what makes you withdraw the loyalty? I think of myself as a pretty loyal person, probably to a fault, right? I like to see the best in people. I say that I see the matrix. I see the code in people, right? I see the best of them. I see their potential, even when they don't see or recognize the potential in themselves. And if I can just work with them for long enough that they'll start to see what I see and start to believe what maybe they had in the past and lost. Now, Rev's not feeling good tonight. So, it's not fair to fight when the man is down. So, this is a conversation that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to swing back this conversation to loyalty to the church. But this is one that has been needed to be talked about for a while. There's a lot of things that's happened just today for me that centers around the word loyalty. We had a podcast earlier with Erica Noel Duncan.com. Again, our consultants, shout out to her. Again, if you are looking to start a nonprofit or change directions, she will do a free consultation. So, reach out to her. But loyalty with her was when we decided to go with her way back in 2018. And she left to have her baby. She was gone for 2 years. And she came back. And it was tough because she left at a time when we still needed her, right? But of course, she was having a baby, and it was really important to her to be there for her child, which of course everyone can understand, right? So it wasn't a disloyal thing, but it was definitely like, dang, it's not a good time for you to leave, you know? But when she came back, for me, it's like, yeah, I've been introduced to other folks that could grant write or do consulting, but I had a loyalty to Erica. And so we picked up where we left off, right? And for me, she is a very humble person. If you saw the interview earlier. And when I said, hey, you should consider coming onto the podcast, she was like, what? and talk about your organization and get business. She wasn't even thinking about that. And typically we would charge for that, right? So that's me being loyal to her. And she's done things where she has been loyal to us on the other side. I think of, we have you've heard Deborah Moore Jackson, shout out to her, talk about the mediation that we're dealing with the county and KCR and some other folks. And I won't go into details about my conversation in that, is, I want the process to develop as it should. But the one thing that I told them was this, that even though I met Deborah earlier in the year, that I am definitely loyal to her. Didn't know her from Adam, right? Matter of fact, she attacked me when we first met. But she's doing the work. She has the right spirit. She has the right heart. She's gruff. She's rough. She even attacks me from time to time. But the thing is that I understand who she is. I don't have to take that personally, right? And the one thing about it is she is receptive to hear when she's done something that I don't like. And she fixes it. So she has my loyalty. Ask yourself, who are you loyal to? Who has your loyalty? Who is loyal to you? I can probably count it on one hand, which is good, right? Because that definition of friendship, like how do you define friendship? And people define it in different ways, right? It could be, that person, as you've heard some people say, you don't talk to them for years, they live in another state. And then when you have that conversation, you pick up like the conversation never ended, right? And I have some of those folks that if I need them, they're there, you know. I have a considerable amount of goons that will, I say the word, it's a bad day for a lot of people. That's loyalty. What does your loyalty look like? And are you a fair weather loyalist? Or when the going gets tough, are you out? Because there's got to be a line, right? Again, they can do things up to a point where you can't have my respect, you can't have my loyalty, I have to walk away, right? If it's a romantic relationship, maybe you're beating me, maybe you're emotionally abusive, right? And so I need to go. It's the best thing for me to go. Codependent relationship. See that a lot with mothers and daughters. Mom is codependent on her kids. And so they're stifled. They can't grow. I actually dated a woman that was in that situation. Really sad. Grown woman, almost 30. Had this really toxic codependent relationship with her mother. And the manipulation and the narcissism was, I mean, it was something else. But who are you loyal to? And who's loyal to you? What does that look like for you? And have you checked in? What's the line? What's the line? A question that I've been grappling with recently is trying to define my line. Trying to define my line. The thing is I've been in service for better part of 20 years now. And what's interesting about that is, I've had people tell me that, that's who you are. That's what you do. Like they couldn't separate. They didn't see me as something different than what I did. Right? Like that's what you do. You're there to help people. It's almost like I'm not even a person at that point. And I thought that was really interesting. On the one hand, you're doing a good job because obviously you're helping people and they can count on you when they need you. But in the same respect, it's like that's your function.
I am here to tell you, brothers, we are not criminals by birth, perennial rapists, incapable intellects, man children, sperm donors, child support well springs, success objects, walking phalluses, ATM machines, lottery tickets, unintelligent henchmen, valueless assassins, pro bono mercenaries, unpaid bodyguards, interchangeable stepfathers, child discipline proxies, unpaid repairmen, workhorses, emotional tampons, or any other socially accepted dehumanizing stereotype. We are thinkers, inventors, innovators, leaders, fathers, and men. Embrace your humanity, know your worth, and extend your time, attention, and resources only to those who genuinely respect you. And remember, your worth is not defined by meeting other people's narcissistic and selfish and unrealistic needs. You define your worth. Peace.
That's important. So such a powerful piece there from Dr. Tiesan Johnson. Because I think we have been told that a man is to be used ways, right? And our only use is our utility. What can you get us to do? What are we good for? So are we that emotional tampon for you? Do we fix the issue, fix the problem? And what do we get back for that? Or is it, well, you're a man, that's what you're supposed to do. So I think oftentimes it's the latter, right? And then we teach other men to do the same thing, right? This is what it means to be a man. That you need to be a martyr, you need to be a sacrifice, you need to just give, 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 with no expectation on receiving anything back. It's what you do, right? Thing is when you have an organization, but you're also a helpful person, and those things kind of get convoluted, and people only see you as the resource, and it gets kind of difficult. Are you here for me? You're here for the resource. And it will show itself out in people's actions, right? I just had a tough conversation with one of our board members yesterday about loyalty, about being present, being available, being helpful. See, because the expectation is that myself or the organization is there when you need it. When you need it, you need to be there. You need to provide what it is that I'm asking. But unfortunately, no idea how we're doing. Do we need help? What's that help? And oftentimes you hear, well, if you need help, just ask, man, I'll be there. It's like, why should I have to ask? You know how the organization runs, you know that we're trying to grow. You know that we never have enough, right? We have a growth mindset. We can never have enough if we're in a growth mindset, just from that basic alone. So, I say it's akin to seeing garbage on the floor. And you walk past it and you're like, hey, you see that garbage on the floor? It's like, well, if you saw the garbage on the floor, why didn't you just pick it up? Why'd you tell me? Be helpful. Be loyal. Now, like I said, this is a conversation I've been wanting to have for a while. I want to play a little video. Shout out to the Lapeef network. Definitely, I got to put my disclaimer on. Fair use for educational purposes. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as education, yada, yada, yada. So let's get into this. And, this is a show here. And again, you can check out the Lapeef Network. Good conversations there. I enjoy listening to them. And they're asking the question, most people are selfish and do things for personal gain, right? Loyalty sounds good. And it really does. It sounds good. But most people are pretty selfish and narcissistic and kind of just out for themselves, right? And I'll help you if I'm getting something out of it. But yeah, if I'm not really getting nothing out of it, I'm good. Let's listen in.
You know what I mean? Then you're just going to be a shitty friend that continuously goes through friends. So, yeah, I totally agree. If you only care when it's convenient for you, then relationships are not your thing.
All right, Rilla. If you only care when it's convenient for you, then relationships and loyalty aren't your thing.
Yeah, man, that's the best definition of selfish, right? You only care when it's convenient for you. So only when there's a benefit for you, or when it's advantageous for you, then we riding with the home team, or we riding with whatever mission we was on, or whatever, right? But I mean, listen, man, we see this, like, real spill. We see this in the underworld all the time. Like, how many cats get knocked in the underworld? We was all gangster. It was time to dump the clip on these motherfuckers, right? One of us get caught. Then I'm to Tekashi 6ix9ine on all you. Like, I'm putting cases on all y'all. I'm telling them, you getting told on, you getting told on, you getting told on. Instead of keeping it, 100%.
So what happened there? It used to be a time where, hey, they tell you, do dirt by yourself first and foremost. But, again, if you're with somebody, now all the snitching is happening and it's all good, right? It's the thing to do. This generation, it's like, oh man. I mean, that's just how it is. We do the dirt together, and then I just tell on you, right? And I try to shave some time off my sentence or whatever the case may be. It's definitely a different time. And not to say back in our younger days, people didn't, turn and whatnot, because that's what he's talking about, right? You saw that in the movies. We're going to squeeze you. We'll lock you up for so long. Your kids will be grandkids or whatever, right? Well, we're going to take this person down. We're going to take your house. We're going to take down your mom or your dad. And so then that person ends up telling on everyone, right? We see that. So we know that it does happen. But it just seems to be that it's actually just an acceptable practice right now, right? There's no loyalty anymore. I was told by someone close to me, hey, these people are saying this stuff about you, and I don't believe them. I don't think that it's true. However, it ain't you, but there's things that I'm trying to do in my life. So optically, if it comes out that is true, or if people are just, if it's not true, but it's doubtful that it's true, I'm not going to be able to stand by your side and support you. I'm going to have to distance myself from you. And while I'm like, well, damn, I appreciate the honesty. But whoa, that damn sure ain't loyalty. Right? So, that let me know up front who and what I was dealing with. And let me know up front who and what I was dealing with. And then I watched it play out, right? So a good thing to ask yourself is, what do they say about other people when they're not around? It's a good way for you to gauge where loyalty may lie and to what degree. Are they a person that is telling other people's deep, dark secrets, issues? Or are they holding that in? Because if they're giving you all the juice and all the dirt, then rest assured, when you're not around, all your dirt and all your juice is being told to someone else. So careful. But I thought that was interesting. And we think about me, I think about the Black community, and I think about how we are typically told who our leaders are going to be, especially on the left. Not very grassroots at all. Barack Obama was not grassroots, right? Talking about Harvard Law. So they pedestalize the person that we're supposed to support. And we do. Oh, it's the first Black president. He's an orator. Oh, he's very articulate. And yes, he was. So we're going to ride with him. But I don't particularly feel that Barack Obama was loyal to the Black community. Just the opposite. I think it was actually terrible for the Black community. But what caused him to be disloyal? Well, is it because the president doesn't really have power? And so, those that love Barack Obama say, well, he did the best that he could, and the president only has so much power. There's only so much that he can do, right? It's really Congress that makes all the rules and does all these things. He's just kind of a figurehead. Just as a side, if that is true, then why is everyone so upset with Donald Trump? Because if Obama was just a figurehead that, that he really couldn't do anything, then how could Trump do all this stuff? Democrats are obsessed with Trump, unfortunately, to their detriment. I believe they're going to lose huge during the midterm elections. They're a one-trick pony, and it's an old, tired pony that if put out to pasture, even PETA wouldn't complain. Sorry, PETA and horsey lovers. Loyalty. So how do you lose that? Is it because you've been put into a position that you really weren't for us in the first place, and you're just climbing, you're trying to get yourself to a position? And so you will do and say whatever. You're a chameleon. You'll be a Republican in this room. You'll be a Democrat in this room. You'll be an independent in this room. You'll be critical of the LGBTQ community in this room. You'll be for them in that room. Is that who you are? Is that what you're loyal to? Right? That's that selfishness. Do you tell yourself, I've got to be this way so that I can get to this space where I can help all of our people? So let me snake my way to the top. And once I get there, I'm going to pull my hand down and pull some people up. And I think what you find is that doesn't typically happen. I ask, what are the Obamas doing for the black community right now? So what does it look like? Do we have people that we know that have ascended and it's protect their interest at all costs? Now, some would say, well, you know what? You're a fool. You put yourself out there and you can lose what you have. And you'll probably lose it for people that don't even give a damn about you, right? The other organizations, sometimes they're competing against you, right? There's only a finite amount of dollars. So if you go away, that's great because that creates opportunity for them. You've got clients that, unfortunately, look, man, I'm just trying to get what I can get. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. I don't give a damn about you. If you give it to me, I'm going to take it. You know, one of my board members has a phrase that I hate. You know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So you don't have to cheat with me. But if that's your mindset, then how do I trust? Are you being loyal? Are you telling me what you think I want to hear so you can get what you want or need to get? How do I know? I submit that the reason why the black church, the reason why black people aren't doing better is because of loyalty or the lack therein. See, there's a big disconnect because there's a difference between trying to ascend without standing on the heads and the necks of those below you to get to where you're trying to get to. There's a difference. But I think sometimes people can't tell the difference. It looks the same. So there are good folks in leadership. There are good folks in power positions. But how they got there might feel similar to a slimy person that's done it. And when that person gets there, you know what? They might actually want to do something for the community. But because of institutionalized racism, fear, that everything is pitted against that person. There was a principal in Texas that lost his job. He had been awarded, I think twice over his tenure being in the school district. And some parents accused him of teaching CRT or being for CRT. I think it was a tweet, actually. And they actually let him go. I hope he sues the hell out of him. So you could be doing the right thing and actually be an advocate. And your folks might feel like, you know what? You're not being loyal. Some of that might just be jealousy, post-traumatic slave syndrome, hate. I think what happens often is folks will ascend with good intentions and they get there and they're being attacked from within. They look back to the people and the people are like, we don't recognize you. We're not going to support you. And then that person is like, well, you know what? Man, the hell with y'all. I'm going to do what I got to do for me and my family. And I'll advocate for what I can do. And that's what I'm going to do. But I can sleep at night, but I'm not going to kill myself for y'all when y'all you don't even care. You're not even supporting it anyway. I think we had a similar situation with that during our election this year with Tracy Flood. Right? She was attacked by KCR. She was attacked by the Kitsap Sun. And the question was her community going to rally to support her? Or were they going to be like, well, I might vote for you and I might tell people that I'm comfortable and safe around that I support you. But I'm not really going to speak out about it because, again, I don't want to jeopardize my bag. I don't want the people that I'm around to look at me in a different lens because that could cause me some problems and harm. And you might not even win anyway. Or you ain't never done nothing for me personally. I don't even really know you. She did win, though. But it doesn't stop there. You'll need to continue to support. Because if you leave her alone with no support and leave her isolated to be chewed up and spit out, she's not going to be able to do what you elected her to do. And again, it's why I support Deborah. Because without people that are willing to stand in her corner, they will chew her up and spit her out. Without people that are willing to stand up and sit in her corner, other Black folks in this community will say, ain't nothing to see here, boss. It's all good. Oz ain't got no problems. Oz enjoys the money that you gives to us to help people. And I tell you, Oz gonna do a good job. I ain't gonna make no waves, massa. Too many buck-broken Negroes. And you know who you are. Hit dogs holler, right? Because people don't take stuff personally if it ain't true, right? You can say something about me, and if it's not true, whatever. So if you're offended by that, hit dogs holler. And good. Because I'm tired of your bullshit. Tired of your cowardice. Tired of your greed. I'm tired of your selfishness. Tired of your buck dancing. I'm tired of you acting like you are for your people. But all of your actions seem to be different. And you can talk a good game. And you can show a good game. But we see how it looks on Facebook. We see how it looks in the community. We hear what comes back to us on what you say to other people. So we know you're full of shit. So folks will do what they can. They will try to dismantle and destroy, discredit. Say, hey, don't listen to him. We're the good Negroes. He might just be angry or disgruntled or this, that, and the other. You know I'm for you. I got your back. I'm not going to jeopardize what we trying to do. Come on, let's go get this green together. I know you've seen it. You may have participated in it. Is your church on fire? That's the question. Let's play a little bit more.
Take one for the team?
It's not taking one for the team. Listen, Kayla.
What is the underworld? What?
Kayla, if me and you are if we're in a life of crime together, that's not me taking one for the team. I knew what came with this when I got into this.
You're right. You're right.
Right? So if I got caught because I'm bad at being a criminal, but you didn't, right?
Right.
Loyalty will be holding it down. I'm gonna take my punishment. I'm not going to impugn you and bring you down with me so I can reduce my time, right? So again, that's when it's convenient for me. Like I'm ratting on the team because it's convenient. It's convenient.
So that's the thing, right? On the bottom of their ticker, if you only care when it's convenient for you, then relationships and loyalty aren't your thing. That's like if you're a snake, say you're a snake. What's the story about the snake and the rabbit going across the river? And the snake's like, I can swim. Get on my back. The rabbit's like, no, you're going to bite me. No, I ain't going to bite you. You're a snake. You bite people. You're going to bite me. I promise you I'm not going to bite you. So reluctantly, the rabbit gets on the snake's back. They get out. They're swimming across. They're around the middle of the river. Snake turns around and bites the rabbit. Rabbit's like, what the hell? Why'd you bite me? It's like, well, you knew I was a snake. I think we deal with a lot of snakes, hoping that they're not going to be what their nature is. And it's tough because, I just got done telling someone this evening, my goal, I have a lot of goals, but one is a huge one, is to be a bridge builder. Is to try to connect us back together so that we can be stronger together and accomplish things that need to be done. But you're dealing with a bunch of snakes, and you're dealing with a bunch of snakes that may have been your regular garden variety gardener snakes, but have turned poisonous over time because of their experiences, what they've gone through, being burnt, being hurt. So now they're poisonous snakes, and now they're going to bite, and now they're just going to do what's habit for them, even when there's no need to do so. And they see other snakes. They don't see a rabbit. So they have snake-colored glasses on, if you will. And they damn sure are going to bite you before you bite them. I had to bite you. You're a snake. Loyalty. Is your church on fire?
For me to rat and get
I can see that. I can see that. Because you knew what came with the game of being in the streets and all of that. And I think I've seen that on Power a few times. That's how it is. Mm-hmm.
You signed
We've
up
seen
for
it in
that.
real life too. We seen it.
That I hate when people create their life examples on TV shows. And you can make the argument about life imitating art or art imitating life. But that just drives me crazy. And another thing that drives me crazy, and I hear this all the time, right? Oh, it's, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's just the game, right? It's the streets. So if the streets is snitching, then that's what they do. Yeah, we're going to do this dirt together, but if we get caught up, then, hey, I'm going to try to save myself, man. I got kids. I hate that phrase. Go and get the cane. So the street says, well, you know what? That's how it is. And we act like that in the business sector also, right? Don't hate the organization, hate the game. We just doing what we got to do. But it's so weak, so powerless. And I said power is taken, it's not given. Change the damn game. So we just going to keep hurting each other and being disloyal because that's the game. Yeah, we just playing the game. We just trying to survive out here. The thing is the most extreme thing happens when people change the game is people get killed. So that's changing the game, right? That person was not happy with how the game was being played. It said, I'm not playing this game anymore. You've betrayed me. You're disloyal. This is what I'm going to do. Well, that's problematic, right? Because there's no coming back from that. And so we can take power over the game, but that's not the way forward, right? If we destroy each other, there's nothing to save. But we've got to find a way forward.
And in real life, we just saw it with Alpo Martinez too. We saw it with Abraham Rodriguez too, right? You did all this dirt and it was cool, and then you murked your best man. You murked the person that brought you in the game,
Right?
And then streets are undefeated, man. What you put out there gonna come back to you. And so, to that degree, especially for the young bloods that's listening and think that they want to take shortcuts, or there's easy money in these streets, or there's no consequences in these streets. Man, loyalty is everything. And if you're only in it,
that's big, right? So what he's saying there is consequences when you're in the street, right? People are going to change the game. They are going to take you out, and you're seeing it more and more, right? But when we get to this level, when we're on the business side, we don't operate that way. But we need to. Because what's happening is the institutions, see, they take us out. People don't support Deborah, they'll take her out. If people didn't support Tracy, she would have lost. And we're so quick to say, oh, it's racism. Oh, it's institutionalized racism, discrimination. Maybe it is. But it doesn't make us not accountable for our actions and our behaviors, how we think, what we do. And then we blame it on, post-traumatic slave syndrome. You black folks know that that's what you're suffering from. You're aware, you're woke to that level. And why the hell are you still hurting each other? You suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome. So then why are you talking out against your brother? Why are you being silent when the dominant society is attacking them? Why are you helping to spread the bullshit and the lies? You ever notice how, the dominant society will tell us who we need to burn down? You need to burn down OJ. You need to burn down R. Kelly. You need to burn down this one. And if you don't, we'll cancel you. Because you better be on the right side of this. But for those of you that understand, R. Kelly's crimes were against underage girls, they don't burn down Elvis. Right? He's still a hero. That's okay. But they will tell us who to burn down. And then they will hold you to it. So as long as we're going to cower and worry about losing our bag, losing our position, they'll continue to do it. And so in that part, yeah, the street game needs to come to the business side. Metaphorically, of course. Let's not be intellectually dishonest. I'm not saying to murder our black leaders that are selling out their own folks. That's not what I'm suggesting. Metaphoric murder, yeah. They need to go. Step your ass down or change. That's it. Only choice. As I said, we're in the age of Malcolm, not Martin. I consume so much news. And not just national news, international. And I watch us be violated in every way. We're found hung, drowned, organs missing, beat, murdered. And what do? We got our cell phones and we just yelling, stop, stop. And we're calling this power. Or you're sitting back and watching murder take place. Some dude was raping a woman on the subway. And they were just watching. This wasn't at night when there's only like one or two people on there. It was full of people on there, and this woman's being assaulted. And yeah, these people are crazy nowadays. It might cost you your life. But you've been so socialized, so programmed to just sit there and watch it happen. A shout out to the Young Turks. Doctor, I can't call his name now. It's a brother on there. He does a show. And he has a Karen segment. And the thing is, he's got like 2 or 3 Karen segments every day. Every day. They got a show every day. Every day he's got 2 or 3 Karen segments. Where we're having the police called on us. We're being spit on. Whether it's at a game. All these things are happening to us. And the black church is, ours forgive. Ours forgive. We got to forgive. And every other demographic is like, burn them. Put them up under the jail. Max time. If I ever get my hands on them. Right? That's how they talk. But we got to forgive. And most times they send that Benjamin Crump dude around because, you know, typically that black male body is worth a couple $1 million. So to the family and the friends, he was worth more dead than alive. And so they out there. George wouldn't want y'all out here doing this. Please don't. Go home. And you watch white folks, Latino folks, Asian folks. You watch every other demographic. When we find you, you hear the police talk about it. Don't do something to the police. Oh, we're coming for you. And when we get you, may God have mercy on your soul. See, that's how they talk. But we's forgive. We's forgive. You know, it's so painful. Is there times when it's like, you know what? And y'all get what y'all deserve. So damn weak. Just go ahead, keep being victims, right? Me and mine, we'll go ahead and make sure that we're protecting ourselves. We know that there's bigger and badder out there. You got militias, you got crazy folks watching videos every single day, people walking into convenience stores and shooting people walking into 7-Eleven or any kind of, in Walmart, right? Shooting people in Walmart. There's a black woman the other day that on camera came around the corner, had a gun behind her back, walked up behind another woman and shot her in the head, execution style, killed her, and then fled to like South Carolina. That was just in the news like yesterday. So it doesn't take anything to be taken out. But the faith of the church, you know, it drives me crazy sometimes, you know? I forgive. We forgive. The Lord says to forgive. And they're killing your ass. En masse. destroying you, discriminating against you, having you turn on your own, poisoning you. I forgive. That's not for me. I'm just going to serve my God. What is it? Faith without action is dead. Is that the saying? You know, the beginning of a boxing match, they say, protect yourself at all times. People, protect yourself at all times. Find folks that are loyal to you, that you can be loyal to. And understand, unfortunately, you may be in a season in your life that you can't walk away from your situation. That you need that shelter, you need that food, you need that relationship, you need that transportation. You know, they say misery loves company, right? Codependency. If I walk away from this, I feel like I have nothing. Who is going to be there for me? I think as one of the people in the video was saying is, you know, if you're not a loyal person, you're just going to burn through a whole bunch of friends, which is true, right? And when you really need someone, they're not going to be there for you.
When it's convenient for you, then you're not cut out for it. Like, relax, just stay a nerd, stay a neutron. Come over here with the squares and the L7s. We riding heavy over here.
L7.
Right. Okay, I'm coming to you next. Q, if you only care when it's convenient for you, then relationship.
So I'm going to stop it there. You know, again, you can check out the Lapeef Network. It's a good conversation. They definitely do not have they do not think the same, for sure. So, you know, I appreciate that. I like hearing different perspectives. I don't agree with probably at least half the panel, you know, but it's good discussion. It's good dialogue, right? I like to have that discussion. And it gets pretty heated from time to time. Matter of fact, there's someone who's normally on the show that I don't see her anymore, so she might not be on there. It's unfortunate. Is your church on fire? We're talking about loyalty tonight. We're talking about loyalty tonight. And it's a hard conversation because I'm sure that people would probably tell me, oh man, you haven't been loyal. There have been times in my life that I haven't been loyal to people. You know, a lot of what we deal with is meritorious manumission. And when I talked about what was happening during slavery, meritorious manumission, I'm just going to read the definition here, could be granted to a slave who distinguished themselves, and I'm going to say themselves, right? He or she, by saving the life of a white master or his property, inventing something that a white slave master could make or profit from, or snitching on a slave rebellion. What does that look in present day? What does the slave rebellion look like today? I'd say that might be Deborah Jackson. I might say that's Tracy Flood. So they're mounting a slave rebellion. They're daring to do something different. They're speaking out. They're speaking up. No, they're not perfect, but they're trying. And they're doing it in a time when they don't know if people are actually going to be by their side or not and support them. And they do know that there are going to be a number of people that aren't. And they know that because some of those people have been so bold to let them know. I can't get into that fight. I got deals, I got contracts, I got grants, I got relationships. Good luck with that. Try to keep my name out of it. I might even slide you a little piece of information so you keep my name out of it. Meritorious Manumissions 2021. What are you inventing for the white slave master, for the dominant society? What deal do you have with them that they enjoy the fruit of your labor? And whose life are you saving or protecting? What property, what gatekeeper are you for the white slave master? Nothing to see here, boss. Everything's all good. I just don't know what's wrong with them over there. But you's always treated us well. And let me just tell you, we's always gonna be here for you, sir. We always gonna be here for you, ma'am. We's not gonna do anything to jeopardize what you's got going on. And if anyone's tries to speak out against you, we gonna do something about it. We're not gonna let that, we're not gonna stand for that. And so we could recognize when Trump says, hey, I got my black in the crowd. But so many liberals have their blacks. They're blacks that they have allowed to elevate. They didn't take power, it was given to them. They were put into those positions. Just like the church, when it got its tax exempt status. Y'all gonna stop speaking out against the government the way that you was. Well, I do likes the money. We's gonna be able to do so much for our congregations. You might be more friends with the police than some of the black people in the community. You're on a first name basis. The hell is that? But you'd be good. I mean, if something happens to you, you can call detective or sergeant, captain. Right? Because those meritorious manumissions. So you got a choice. But we do need the street game. We do need Malcolm, not Martin, by any means necessary. Change or go away. Change or we remove you. Those are the options. Those have to be the options. And as Deborah was saying on Deborah's Corner yesterday, right? We have to run for these positions. Our ideas have to be made present, audible. Did any of the candidates run on anything that had to do with us specifically? Or was it like Biden and Kamala? I ain't gonna do nothing for just black people. But every other demographic can do something just for them. For us, it's a high tide rises all boats. Now they're telling you that Black Lives Matter, right? Not the organization. Just the ideal of it is going to cause the Democrats to lose the midterm. That they need to distance themselves from that. That identity politics is a negative thing. It needs to be about class and this and that. But we don't have to do right by foundational Black Americans. Thing is, you know, what Mark and the experts are saying, we are past due for the big earthquake. and tsunami that is likely to follow. Your dead ass black bodies will be all over Kitsap County. Very few of you have the infrastructure to take care of each other. And Big Daddy government ain't going to be able to come to you to help you. Now, I was telling someone the other day that I actually wish Trump would have gotten reelected. And I really do, you know. And what I thought was right was correct. Folks were so relieved for him to be gone, right? That overt racism in your face, so horrible. But, you know, people dropped the ball and, you know, he appointed all those Supreme Court judges and all the circuit court judges. Like, the damage was done. Hate groups, white nationalists, all those things, they increased by hundreds of percents under Obama, not Trump. It was already there. But we got to get him out. And you know what? The distraction is we're going to keep talking about Trump into the next year. Oh, we need to uncover. It's such a joke, right? Is your church on fire? It's such a joke, black Democrats that love Biden and Kamala, that while they are attacking Trump, while they are asking for, you know, the documents to see what was going on January 6th during the insurrection, these people are barely being sentenced to any time. It's such a trick bag, you can't even see it. 6 months, 8 months. They gave a black man like 14 months in jail. He wasn't even there. He was just sending in threats by email or whatever. He got more time than people that actually was there, broke into the Capitol, helped to kill police. And you just chomping at the bit to continue to uncover this stuff. Trump, 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 Trump. In the meantime, the eviction moratorium is over. The increase on employment is gone. There's no more stimulus checks. There's a bunch of jobs, not careers. We're experiencing inflation. Oh, hey, by the way, Kamala says, get your Christmas presents. Better get them now. And you damn sure better get them because, hey, wait, hold on. Because if you haven't heard, not only do we have supply chain issues and we have a bunch of containers that are sitting out in the ocean or sitting in the docks or wherever, but now China then had one of the biggest snowstorms in the last 50 years. And with their rolling blackouts and everything else they got going, when are you getting your stuff? But you're so worried about Christmas for you and your kids. You're so worried about the next bag of weed. You're so worried about that Hennessy. Yeah, I'm being stereotypical. Hennessy, damn it. You're so worried about your Seahawks or your New Orleans Saints or your Lakers. You sleep. Your church can't help you. Your church is broke. Your church ain't got no money. Your church ain't got no resources. Your church has been overrun by feminism. Your church has been plagued by infidelity by the pastors and the ministers. It's no longer a community center. It's not doing outreach. It's a pageant show on Easter, Christmas, and New Year's. They twerking it up and thoughting it out on Saturday and sitting in the front row on Sunday. Can't call it out anymore. You know what? Let's give you a prime example. And I put this on the church. I do. I really do. This is the state of black families now. This is the state of black families now. Fair use. This is mediocre tutorial reviews. I definitely like this brother here. Check out his channel. I am going to give you a trigger. This is highly sexual in nature.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Look, wait, let me say something. Because everybody, hold on. Because everybody's talking about me be selling a pussy for 200, and I only got 2,000 from doing a scene for one night.
Mom and dad both in the picture?
My dad passed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. That's my mother.
You're gonna make her proud.
So this is a porn scene that this 19-year-old decided to do. And the producers say she's gonna make her mom proud.
All right, guys, you're looking at the thumbnail. You're looking at the title of the video. Y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Guys, the story that I want to go over for you guys here today, just understand this on Facebook. It's going gangbusters. It's going viral as all hell. And that's for great reason, great purpose. I think stories like this have no choice but to go crazy, especially when you have like verifiable evidence of the people talking. Now, when I first heard about this story, it was actually before I saw the video I'm going to play for you right now, which goes in depth into the mind of this young lady who was partaking in this activity. What is this activity that you ask? Well, she decided at the tender age of 19 years old to go on a website of extreme porn. Okay, I'm not going to say the whole name of the website. It starts with ghetto and it ends with, you still don't know the name of the site. You can replace the name.
I'm going to tell you, like I said, this is graphic, but it's ghetto gaggers. And this is extreme porn. And so what happens is fellatio is taking place, very violent fellatio, to the point that the woman is vomiting all over the penis over and over again. Oftentimes it is into a dog bowl or right onto the floor. And oftentimes she's made to eat it after she has vomited. So this is what we're talking about here. And we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're damn adults. So grow the hell up.
Next word with chokers, gaspers for errors, vomiters, dry heavers. All in all, it's a pretty deplorable. So I would say, like,
just FYI, when I play these videos, if you notice that many of the people that I play dance all around different words and verbiage, and that's because they are trying to monetize their videos, right? My videos are not monetized. I need to be able to say what I need to say without being censored.
In this whole sex industry game, like there's like, teasing people with feet pictures or like selling your bath waters. And then there's ghetto chokers. You know what I'm saying? Like at the far end, the far extreme. And at the tender age of 19, this young lady decided to partake in this activity. So what this video goes over is not only the response from her family, okay, her grandmother's response, her mother's response after finding out the news and watching the video of her getting demolished with giant men around her. But then also a one-on-one conversation that she's having with a friend. And that's really the reason I wanted to go over this particular video is to break down the mindset. And I think that it shows so much about the current modern lady today through the information that they are fed that can corrupt a young lady's mind.
And this is why I say that the church has a big bear of responsibility here, right? With all their internal drama and issues. The women of the church sleeping with the pastors and the minister, right? The internal strife, the splitting of the churches. People acting any way that they want. And then calling out other people's sin and then expect people come to their church and do tithe and offering, but they don't get anything out of the church aside from serving the church and giving it money. And telling them, well, you're getting the word of God, you're getting the spirit. So, that's the exchange. When the church used to be so much more. And, devout folks, don't talk about my church. Don't talk about my pastor. Don't talk about the pastor. Don't talk about the first lady. That's their seat. That's their piece of chicken. Oh, they got to eat first, even before the kids. Pastor might have been eating some ass before dinner time. Okay, I'm sorry.
And without further ado, now, before we get into the actual video of this young lady talking, let's first go over the response of the grandmother, okay? I have never been so embarrassed and humiliated and felt so degraded in all of my 68 years, exclamation point. Don't ever call me your grandmother again as long as you live. Get the family's pictures the hell off your page and forget you have one. You are given everything any child could want. And you're talking about $2,000 like that's money? That's not.
So here's the thing. Yeah, she did this for $2,000. She did this for $2,000. And as you'll hear in the video, she's not homeless. She's not paying rent. She still lives at home with her parents. What is $2,000? We're so desperate for money. And somehow we just need to have it given to us. What are you worth? Minimum wage, $20 an hour, $40 an hour, $50 an hour. I'd ask my business students that. What are you worth? And in the beginning of the quarter, they'd tell me all kinds of crazy. You can't afford me. I'm priceless. Yeah, tell that to an employer. Next. $50 an hour. The owner doesn't make that. Next. What knowledge, skills, and abilities do you have for $50 an hour? $20 an hour. You don't have those knowledge, skills, and abilities. $5 an hour. Hell, shit, you ain't even worth that. $2,000. So she could have made that in a couple weeks going to work and making an honest living. Oh, it's hard, but it's not degrading, right? But society has told women, and unfortunately, as it's said, right? White people get a cold, black people get a flu. So the bad parts of feminism have told our women, oh, your body, you do what you want, girl. Hot girl summer. You want to be sexually free? Do you, girl. She's 19. I described to you the action that she participated in. You don't think she's going to be traumatized and have issues when she's in her 30s? I don't even think she's going to make it to her 30s before that starts manifesting. And if you're active in YouTube, you will see porn stars who have a short lifespan, who've gone in, made the quick money, on the other side, and they want to have their videos pulled down. And they're crying. They're known. They're famous. They can't go anywhere. Some of them have kids, and now they can't participate in their kids' things because, well, you were in the porn industry, and parents don't really want, their kids around other parents that, that was their lifestyle. They feel demoralized. They're mentally destroyed from it. They have all this trauma. But women have told them, girl, do you. Go ahead, sleep around, be polyamorous. There's no stigma anymore. We're not going to stigmatize it no more. The church ain't going to stigmatize it no more, right? You got the single mom with the 3 kids by different dads. Hell, she might have a bunch of kids by one dad. She's not married. She's sitting on the front row in the church. You're not going to call out the behavior, right? They were saying, back in the days, girl got pregnant, she had to go away, right? She had to go down south, have the baby, and then come back. See, we made it acceptable. It's just a free-for-all. See, we're prisoners of war. And those who have acclimated into the dominant society's ways of living, killing our babies by the millions through abortion. Just a form of birth control. $2,000.
Porn, that's being a 50-cent street whore live for everyone to see. Your brother, the one that's a producer in California, and the one in Jersey called. They were in tears and disbelief. I'm done with you. And so was everyone else. Your first cousin didn't want to show it to me. I forced him to. Let's see if $2,000 can ever help you gain dignity and self-respect. Triple exclamation point. Grandma went in. Okay. Grandma went in. Let's see the young lady's written response right here real quick. And then we're going to get into her speaking about this. Okay. She says, at the end of the day, I don't give a who's seen anything. I got paid almost $2,000 for that video. You think I give her? And then y'all still paying to watch it. So you must like my freaky ass. See,
let me just pause right there. Again, I put this on the church. We've gotten away from respect. I was telling Pastor Ellington last week. Yeah, I can call him Michael. And I have, and I'll do from time to time. But he's earned my respect, 1. And 2, he has a title. And I'm going to model that for Layla. Layla doesn't call adults by their first name. That's not who we were as a people growing up, right? It was Mr. Cameron, Mrs. Cameron. If nothing else, it'd be Mr. Marwan, Miss Sally. You hear people call Miss Deborah, Miss Deborah. Adults call Miss Deborah, Miss Deborah. Respect, right? This is her response to her grandmother. And again, this isn't something she did in the dark. This is something that she put on Facebook for all to see. Could you imagine, for those of you that had a relationship with your grandmother watching a video of you, of that happening to you? And it wasn't just one man, it was men, multiple men, for $2,000. And she's living at home with her parents, and she won't get her lazy ass out of bed and go to work every day and gain skills. Everybody wants it now. They just want the title now. I want to be a manager. I want to be a boss. I'm a boss babe. I'm a boss bitch. I'm a queen. I'm this, I'm that. I don't want to work for no one. I'm going to be my own boss. As I was saying in the podcast earlier, all your customers become your boss. The vendors become your boss. For me, the church has failed us. You have families that control these churches. We're doing just like you see the dominant society do. Now, what do you got? Queen Elizabeth, right? It's the bloodline. So we do the same thing, right? Oh, this one's gone. So the blood family, who's the leadership of the church, they're going to take over. Maybe they shouldn't be in a leadership position. Oh, we like this one. So we're going to elevate that one. We're going to elevate that one. We do all the same dynamics that we see out in the dominant society. And then it's a wonder that it's a shit show in these churches. And people are divesting from the church. It doesn't say something in the Bible about, woe to the people that turn people away from God.
You could tell that, she has made a decision. She's very indignant about that decision. And let's see how she justifies $2,000 for something that, if she was to ever become a mother, if she ever wanted to get a job in a professional environment, right? No matter who she's going to be dating into the future, there will be a record of not only a sexual activity, but this one. And if there's nothing more than a dude doesn't like to know that your young lady has been sufficiently conquered into the past, it's having video evidence of you being smothered alive. Let's keep it moving, though.
But wait, let me say something. Because everybody, hold on. Because everybody's talking about me. Bitches be selling they pussy for $200, and I only got $2,000 from doing a scene for one night. All right, bitches be getting paid $200 a night. Like, please.
Now, if you notice here, there's a couple of things that stick out to me, and I'm not talking about the hair bonnet. The things that stick out to me is she's comparing the $200 a night for what women do behind closed doors to the $2,000 a night of doing it live and direct. To me, it's just ridiculous that you come from what seems as though Brenda Miller is talking about. You came from an environment where you had everything that you had, and even called the $2,000 measly. So for you to sell your soul in this particular fashion.
And let me jump in there, right? Because I hear a lot of people that make excuses on their life, right? My life is messed up because of how I grew up, because I went through this, because my dad wasn't there. My mom was this way. I went into adoption, right? I went into foster care pretty much as I don't know how old I was when my mother gave me up. I think it was before the age of 1 or 2, right? I was in foster care until I was 5. I, was adopted from 5 to 15. I assaulted my father. I went to jail. I got out. I became a ward of the state. I was in foster care until I was 17. The last place I lived was the YWCA in Seattle. And then I'm just like, I might as well just live on my own. There's no point in being a ward of the state. That was my experience. So if I decided to say, oh man, all this stuff happened to me, That's why I am the way that I am, and my life is so hard, and I just make bad decisions, and I can't seem to get myself straight. And I've dug this big ass hole for myself, and I can't get out. So it's just giving me the excuse to continue to do what I do. You're not being accountable. So what? It's what you did. It's who you were. You dug a ditch. Now you got to climb your ass out of it. You know, my dad would tell me, he would tell all of us, right? We're trying to get our life back together. And some of my family members would say, Dad, I need someone to watch the kids so I can go to work and I could do this and do that. And he's like, oh, no, I love my grandkids, but I didn't lay down and have the fun making them. So that's your responsibility to take care of. So if you made your life hard that way, that's on you. That's what he told us. So that's what's in me, right? I did that. I didn't have to have those kids. I had to make a decision. My first daughter I was 20. Ignorant. Still a child mentally, but I was an adult, right? I made adult decisions, and I made a child that I wasn't ready to be responsible for, which made my life hard, which caused the state to be involved. But I don't get to say, well, I got kids, this is my situation, and so I can't. The problem is, life is hard for so many people, and I feel for you, but I can't really care because I got to figure out where I'm going to eat and where I'm going to keep my roof. So if you use that as the reason why you're where you're at and why you can't get to where you want to go, or why you can't live within a structured space, because you got to give it all up, right? It's not about you anymore. It's about the kids. Your fun's done. You're living for another life until they're old enough to do it for themselves, and that's not until you get them to high school. So the older they get, the more unruly they get. You are the parent. So if it's getting more difficult, you're raising them. But so often, everything is society, racism, bad choices, whatever. I have a 10-year-old. If I felt that way, I got 8 years to provide structure and lessons and learning until she's going to be able to make those decisions on her own. Which means I'm going to have to sacrifice what I want to do, whatever guilt I may harbor for how I wasn't there for my first daughter, whatever guilt I might harbor for the fact that I'm divorced and I'm a non-custodial parent. I can't just be the fun time weekend parent. There still has to be discipline and learning, even if she doesn't like it. Dad, I came to have fun and you are teaching me, and there's discipline. Yes, there is. Because time is short. So we don't get to play the whole time. It's not how that works. Even if that's what I want to do, and I'm disguising it and saying it's for you. You're going to hear her dad passed away. But she had both parents, and she's still living at home. How the hell does this happen? And how is her mindset this way? We had a podcast a few Fridays ago where I was showing a video where the woman was, we tired of raising you men that don't wash your ass and don't do this and don't do that. But almost 80% are born into single parent households. The man ain't there. So that falls on your ass. And why isn't the man there? That's a whole nother conversation that we might not get to tonight, but I've got a video for that. Because anti-black misandry is such a big thing in this country. And they have taught our black women to hate their black men. I really should go into it tonight. I wanted to do that podcast 3 days ago. But you know how it is, right? I'm an older gentleman. So now, typically, if I'm going to date someone, unless they're a lot younger, they're going to have children. Which, if it gets serious, then I'm going to be a stepfather. Right? But what do you hear? Oh, you better not put your hands on my kids. You don't discipline my kids. You don't. Where's the father of the kids? Is he in the picture? Is he jealous? Is he going to have an issue if you discipline the kids? Are the kids telling you, you ain't my daddy? So why the hell should I put up with something like that? I tell people all the time, like Terrell Owens, I love me some me. And I'm not martyring myself to some woman that got kids. That's like, nah, I want you to be the ATM machine. I want you to provide and pay for things. But you can't discipline my kids. You might even be in danger from the dad. It might be a birthday party. I was watching when they were talking about single moms at Chuck E. Cheese. And they got the baby daddy there and the baby daddy mama there. The baby daddy friends are there. And the men were talking about how they're dating the woman and they show up. It's just them. And they're like, damn, what's this? And the baby's dad's mom is mean mugging him. The dad is mean mugging him. His friends are mean mugging him. And now they got alcohol at Chuck E. Cheese. So now they in danger. He's in danger. What did I sign up for? But we're told, you know.
I am here to tell you, brothers, we are not criminals by birth, perennial rapists, incapable intellects, man-children, sperm donors, child support well springs, success objects, walking phalluses, ATM machines, lottery tickets, unintelligent henchmen, valueless assassins, pro bono mercenaries, unpaid bodyguards, interchangeable stepfathers, child discipline proxies, unpaid repairmen, workhorses, emotional tampons, or any other socially accepted dehumanizing stereotype. We are thinkers.
Got that right.
And disrespect and disrupt your family, and to come across it in the way that you are right now, as indignant as what you currently are, just shows a complete and utter betrayal at the core. But what's also interesting as well is the young man up on top. Talk your shit. This is ridiculous, the type of shit that happens in echo chambers. Just keep it rocking.
Hold on. And, you know, I'm starting this conversation, you know, around loyalty, right? And what MTR is saying here is absolutely right, right? The person on the top is just egging her on. So that person isn't being loyal to this girl. And if you got friends like that in your life, fair weather friends, those that'll help you to destroy yourself. Because there's a whole bunch of people that will help you destroy yourself. Come on, girl, let's go. Let's smoke. Let's get drunk. Let's turn up. Let's make these decisions. Let's do this that doesn't support your growth. Come on, man, let's go over here. You gonna let him talk to you like that? Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100. Recognize these people in your life, whether they're friends or family, and get the hell away from these people. They don't mean you any good. This person will continue to egg her on. Now, let me be clear. Can she come back from this? Yeah, she can come back from this. She can turn away from this. But right now, this person is reinforcing it, right? And getting a kick out of it. She is his entertainment. Watch out for it, folks. That's not loyalty.
And are you 18?
No, I'm 19, but they know I'm
19.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to see.
Somebody in the comments asked me why I look uncomfortable. The only reason why I look uncomfortable is because I'm mad small. Them niggas are big. They was smacking
me. They was tearing your
and like I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. But like
he's happy to see this.
Damn, like you don't gotta smack me like that because like if it was just some regular nigga, I was not letting no nigga do that. But these are professional porn stars, so
I wasn't gonna let no regular dude do that, but they can do it because they get paid to do it. It's absurd.
I'm just that MTR. It is absurd. It's crazy.
Absurd logic. It's absurd logic. This is the mother's response, though.
I listen to shit like this every day. Crazy logic that is like, I don't even know how to. I don't even know what to say. And they believe that. The videos that we show on Fridays, they believe that. This is our youth. What we say, our children are our future. These are our children. Is this our future? And we'll die defending this behavior, this action. So he can hurt me, he can slap me, or they can slap me, and it's okay because, well, they're professionals. But no regular dude could do that to me. Huh? And for $2,000? My fear. And there's a joke in the manosphere. That as things get harder, women will be willing to do whatever. Can I get a tuna fish sandwich and a bottled water because of the desperation, right? See, we've been telling women are the prize. Men aren't the prize. They should just be grateful. All the things that you hear when I play the video, when I play the audio. But we see how many women lost their jobs during COVID and how bad things got. And when Big Daddy government says, hey, no more. If we get cut off from the earthquake and the tsunami and you have no resources, you can't take care of yourself, then what are you going to be willing to do? Who are you going to have to deal with? How are you going to have to compromise yourself so you can have food or shelter? Her bar goes lower. It doesn't go higher. And there's so many folks that are out there living this way now. Just please think about that.
All right, we're going to go over what the mother had to say regarding this. All right. Delete this page now. You got your whole family involved in this. How dare you represent me and your father like this? We gave you everything that a child could desire, and this is what you do? Come back to who love you, come back to who support you, and come back to your roots. Your mother love you if nobody else does. Take this page down. I can't even imagine what the mother is going through right now. You're a queen. How could you give about $2,000 when you get more than that sitting home? Should I post your cash?
Stop the cap. My cap is is on the other side of the room. I'm gonna get my cap closer so I can put the cap on. Stop lying to yourselves and telling yourselves that you're queens. It's bullshit. Stop calling yourself kings and lying to yourself and telling yourself you're a king. It's bullshit. I don't care what your lineage is or what your ancestry is or where you come from. And if you really believe that you're a queen or you're a king, then effing act like it. Because the queen wouldn't do that. And you got the mom, oh, you're a queen. See, because that's what they latch on to. They latch on, I'm a queen. I'm a boss. I can do what I want. I'm grown. I'm going to make my own decisions. I need to make my own mistakes. Don't tell me what to do. She has no idea the damage that she has done to herself. The Walking Dead, like a zombie. And, as Erica was talking about earlier, you don't want to be a dream killer, but you need to be realistic, right? There's so many people that can't hear the truth. And if you tell them the truth, they're going to shut down. But this is the reality that you built. This ain't an amusement park ride. You don't just get to say, hey, stop the ride, let me off, and I want everything to be good again. You were on that ride for years. It's probably going to take at least that long to right the ship. So when you can't hear it, when you can't accept it, when you fight against it, so let's add another layer to this. We talk about loyalty. We talk about relationship, right? Romantic relationship, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. We talk about loyalty. We talk about friendship. We talk about loyalty, organizations, right? Talk about loyalty with family members. And when do you need to pull away from that? Talk about loyalty to your kids. And are you doing what's right by them? Or are you doing what makes you feel good because it decreases your guilt? And now let's add another one. Are you loyal to yourself? Or are you self-sabotaging yourself? Are you making excuses and not being accountable? This is too hard. I need $2,000. I'm not about to be working at nobody's McDonald's or no one's Taco Bell. Now she's 19, so that shouldn't be beneath her. Are you loyal to yourself? Because if you're loyal to yourself, you're not hurting yourself. You are making choices that are in your best interest, not self-serving decisions. And I'm parsing that out. Self-serving as in, it makes me feel good. I'm a queen. Can't nobody tell me. I'm a king. Man, can't nobody tell me nothing. Man, I done came in here by myself and I'll stand or fall. I'm going to do me. You a fool.
A shot from me. Don't play stupid-ish like that ever again, like we some penny bitches. You dropped the ball, now pick it back up. Okay? Here's the thing.
Let me pause there because I went on a little diatribe, but this is the mom. You are a queen. How could you give a F about $2,000 when you get more than that sitting home? Should I post your Cash App from me? Don't play stupid shit like that ever again. Like we some penny bitches. You drop the ball, now pick it the F back up. So what the mom is saying is, your Cash App got more than $2,000 on it now. What the hell are you doing? You live at home. What do you need $2,000 for? That rebellious spirit. I blame the church.
Now that I read what the mother is saying right now, I'm beginning to think that her upbringing was not all rosy and peachy. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I could never picture people in my family going up on Facebook to try to continue to handle a situation like this. To be honest with you, I wouldn't know.
Pause. For real. I see too many folks airing out all their drama on Facebook. Please stop, folks. Please stop. At some point, when you come out of the other side and you got all this ratchet drama stuff on Facebook that's personal, that no one needs to be seeing, and you want support, you want validation, you want whatever it is that you out there seeking. At some point, you're going to grow out and mature out of it, hopefully. And you see, they're going back into people's social media and they're either not getting the job or they're losing the job when it comes out. Don't do it. That's not for public consumption. And this isn't kids. This is grown-ass adults.
How I would deal with this, but I know for certain it wouldn't be across.
And that's damn sure a loyalty thing, right? So here she is. She's made a bad decision. She's made a terrible decision. Her family is embarrassed. And they're responding to her on Facebook because that's where she put it, or wherever this is. They're responding there because that's where she put it. And so now you've pulled the family into it. So later on, when she has regret and she's apologetic, you're disloyal to the family. You hurt the family. Because your selfish ass wanted to do what you wanted to do. And what did MTR say? Hey, by reading the statement from the mom, then I'm deriving that maybe the household she grew up in wasn't all that positive. It might have been a little ratchet itself. So now you've cast that gaze onto your mother. Who is teaching these kids this?
The Facebook pages. Maybe they can't get in contact with her though. Maybe she's ignoring her calls.
Oh, I got one question. Did they force you to do that?
She said no.
Nah, they didn't. Nah, they
Mad
didn't.
cool. She said they mad cool.
Well,
They are mad cool to me. Like, first off, they got me a whole Uber from where I live all the way from out there. They was paying for my Ubers there and back from the studio and all of that. They're mad cool.
Was that milk or was that the real stuff?
That was like a nutriment drink. It was a nutriment drink.
Oh, I told y'all.
I thought it was 12 hours.
Hold up, y'all.
Oh, hell
I'm not
no.
putting that on screen.
Hell no.
God damn. $2,000 in an Uber ride. And that's how they got you looking? This is just completely insane and completely absurd to me. That picture is forever, mama. Don't you get that? Don't you understand that that picture is forever? That represents your mother. That represents your father. That represents all of these, your brothers, your grandma, everybody that's in your life. That's what that photo represents. That is insane. Yeah, that's just, I don't even know what Nutriment is, but I'm never going to buy it.
Now, I don't know what Nutriment is either, but unfortunately, this style of porn, that's not Nutriment. They're actually vomiting. It's disgusting, and they are made to eat it. So while they're staging the pictures, that's probably Nutriment because after maybe you're not in that heightened sexual space, the vomit is. That already sounds like a biohazard. It's all right. I'm getting sick.
That was a whole robot session.
Hell no. That was a nutriment drink that they had me
So, sometimes, wait, sister, they told you.
They give you code words. They give you code words.
Wait, sister, let me ask you something. They told you call timeout when you.
They give you
banana.
Yes, because they give you code words. Yes, because they give you code words. Basically.
Now, just real quick before she gets into the code word stuff, she wrote some other stuff down up on the page. So, I really hate when people say, I really hate people, and it's sad. Yeah, I can't go back from what I did. Yeah, I really did the most involving my mother. Like I'm a little ass girl. No, you're not a little ass girl. You're a grown woman. You're 19 years old.
MTR is saying you're 19, you're grown. You have 30-year-olds saying I'm just a kid. I'm young. Young people make mistakes. We don't have the luxury our children don't have the luxury for that mindset. What I do don't make me who I am. Remember that. You judge people so much just to make yourself look good. Right? There's no accountability. Maybe she's really good with kids. A lot of women are. This is all over the internet. Think she's going to be a paraeducator? 19. Just making it hard on herself for no reason. And what's sad is she ain't even breaking the law. She's not even breaking the law. She's just making her life hard just because. You know what? I want to play on hard mode. I don't want to play on easy mode. Let me just make my life as hard as I can. I'm just going to keep doing the same damn thing and hoping for a different result. And then once I finally wake up, it's like, well, what do you expect from me? Look at my life. Look at what I did. That's why it's like this, and I'm trying, but man, what do you expect? She looks like a healthy 19-year-old woman. Barring nothing else, maybe she lives until she's 80, 60 years. Automation, outsourcing, technology, life cycle for jobs. There's no skill, no education, no trade, no vocation, no entrepreneurship, which is a lot harder than people think. I'm going to just go into business for myself. Okay. What is her life? What do you think? Does she turn away from this now? Or does she experience this for a few more months, a few more years? Her mindset, I made $2,000 and not 200. I made 10 times what the women on the street made. Once she can't make that anymore, she's still going to be looking at the fast money. Because it's really hard to make $2,000 for a 3-hour scene and a free Uber ride than it is for her to go to McDonald's and earn that in 2 or 3 weeks. So if she's willing to compromise herself here, how much worse is it going to get? She thinks that she's being loyal to her, and she's not. It's painful to see, and it's painful to see the folks that are on the TikTok or whatever this is just kind of egg it on. There's no, girl, what was you thinking? They're entertained. The people that she thinks are in her corner, she is their entertainment. And she probably feels like right now they're the most loyal people, right? Her family isn't, not her mom, not her brother, not her grandmother. These are the loyal people. What is loyalty to you? Because you have people in your life, like the person in the green hoodie, that you think are being loyal.
Don't play victim now. Okay. You didn't know that going on a porn website as popular as what that one is, that your family members may find out about it. What I do don't make me who I am. Remember that. Yes, it does. Makes you exactly who you are. Your choices and decisions help me know and understand the type of person that you are at this junction within your life.
All right, because he told me about one of the girls that came there before me. He was like how, I guess it was too much for her, so she couldn't do it no more. So she just said timed out. That ended the whole shit. She didn't get paid. She just went home and left. But I'm a champ. I'm Roro. I'm not pussy. So I did what I had to do. And I got that bag. So,
let me pause. One, you see how he's egging her on. Yeah, you Roro. Yeah, go girl. But what she said is almost more alarming. There's another girl there and she couldn't do it. She had to tap out. She didn't get the $2,000. You know what she got? At best, an Uber ride back. So she got humiliated, demoralized. And all she got was a cab ride. How many other girls, how many other women have tried?
period.
Look at how this sinister young man is pushing her.
It is white females on it, but you gotta really look. I don't know, like it's called ghetto for a reason.
So here's the thing, right? It's called ghetto gaggers. I don't mind saying it. And the person's asking, well, how come there aren't any white women on there? Yeah, I'm being silent for a reason because I want, it's not rhetorical. Ghetto gaggers. For the Black Queen. It's actually a good question. How come there's no white girls on this porn site?
Yo. Oh, Anthony is retarded, bro. Somebody talk about stop gas. Ain't nobody not gassing me because
she is gassing you.
I was been lit, been famous. So I don't even care about this. This is just something that's new. This shit is annoying, bro. Like, I have a life of my own. I have to provide for myself. My mother and my father do not pay for my shit no more. I buy my own shit.
Oh, okay.
Like, what the hell?
It's blind leading the
still
blind.
live with my mother. She still give a roof over my head, but she don't pay for my shit.
You still live there?
You got the 2000.
Again, so follow that logic. I live under my mom's roof. I don't pay rent, but she doesn't buy the stuff that I want, whatever that is, makeup, weed, whatever. So I'm going to go and do the most degrading porn that I can for $2,000 and act like I'm balling out of control. But the mom is saying you got more than $2,000 on your Cash App currently that she put on there. Make it make sense. But she's free. She can do what she wants, right? This is horrible.
Yeah, mama do for her.
Yeah, I don't know. The mom is the mom is, oh my God. It's not funny. Okay. This is some terrible shit. So you still live there, but your mother is writing you, right? Are you in her home right now and she's writing you on Facebook? I think that there's a lot more that meets the eye than what it is that we're seeing right here. And it's just an unfortunate situation. You know, I've gone over porno stars on this channel here before. One that comes to mind is Brie Olson, you know, that talks about the amount of regret that they have in going through what it is that they did, not only because it significantly has diminished their prospects later in life, but to have their image and likeness forever there. So members of their family always have access to it. And then you multiply that by the degree of vulgarness within this particular porn site. And I no doubt think that she's going to severely regret this going into the future.
No.
Absolutely. I'm going to stop it there. Again, mediocre tutorial and reviews. Many of you may have already seen this. This is already viral. This is the third YouTuber that I've seen cover this. Let me just take a pause there. That's a lot. You're going to blame that on white supremacy? Are you going to blame that on institutional racism? She was in a 2-parent home. The dad died. She has a grandmother, right? So she's got a support system. She's still at home. She wasn't kicked out. She's got money on her Cash App. I say, I blame the church. I do. I think this is on the church. And again, it's on the church because the church used to be the cornerstone of the Black community. And we have allowed the dominant society, if we're going to say anything that's indirect, we've allowed ourselves to be assimilated into the dominant society and to live as they do and adopt their culture, their customs, and then justify it to our detriment. We're all the Planned Parenthoods, right? The poor areas in the hood. Girl, you don't need no man. You're strong and independent. But they don't tell their women that. Nobody else tells their women that. White women, Asian women, Latino women, immigrant women, illegal immigrants come here. That man is broke and trying to find a way to provide. He has nothing. He's not driving a 300. He's not making it rain. He's not buying her a Birkin bag. She's following her man. We're the only ones that are told that. And it's hidden, right? We've served so many people through the eviction assistance program. More than double-digit percentages than Casey or the county knew that needed help. And we're only 3 or 4% of the population here. But disproportionately, like in many places, we're more impoverished. But you don't need no man. Almost 80% born into single-family households. Unwed. It's antiquated. It's 2021. Okay. You're watching it. The people that have lost their homes. The elderly that are at Salvation Army, at the rescue mission, that are sleeping in the street. You're watching them become younger. They're saying that black wealth is going to go to zero by 2048, somewhere in there. Your parents die, there's no house for you. You don't have a life insurance policy. You don't have a retirement fund. You might not even have a savings account. What are your parents leaving you? You planning for that? Or are you hoping that your kids somehow, against all odds, break the cycle of poverty and do well enough so you can move in with them? Because you're not going to be able to afford to stay in a home. Look around. See, we don't see it. It's hidden. The resources are damn near gone. Gas prices are up. Food prices are up. Hard to get cleaning supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, silicone. Maybe you don't go to ghetto gaggers and get demoralized for $2,000 in an Uber ride where you're forced to vomit on yourself and eat it on camera for all to see. But what does the government have you do? What job do they make you take? Are you thankful for UBI if they pass universal basic income? You're already dealing with health care that isn't adequate. So you crab in a pot brought to a slow boil, and they just keep turning up the heat. And whatever rights and privileges you think you have are being eroded. Whatever opportunities you think you have. Oh, I got time. I'm young. I would tell my students this all the time in business. They'd come in, they say, hey, this is my first quarter. I'm so excited. I'm going into business. I'm going to get what I need to get, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, da, 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 da. I'm like, but what about your competition? What are you talking about? Everybody in your class, competition. Everybody who's a quarter ahead of you, your competition. 2 quarters ahead of you, that's your competition. A year ahead of you, that's competition. Those that are graduating while you're starting your first quarter, competition, head start. The person coming behind you next quarter, competition. The person in high school is going to start at OC next year, competition. But you got time. Okay. They hand out food on Thursdays on Wheaton Way. It's necessary. They put everyone in fairgrounds during COVID. It's necessary. They needed the space. They paid over $1 million to rent the motel on Kitsap Way and add to it. It's necessary. They bought a bigger building in Port Orchard to put the homeless. There's another organization across the bridge that's opening up a day center and showers and things of that nature. It's necessary. One of the fastest business sectors across the country and damn sure in this town are storage units. It's necessary because you can't afford to live. So you've got to downsize. Or you got to put your stuff in storage because now you're homeless. It's necessary. Millions of dollars came into eviction assistance. We're almost done with the second round. We're looking at signing contracts from round 3 because it's necessary. You can't pay your rent. You may not even have a place to pay your rent. You may not be able to pay your rent next month. Let's hope you don't get COVID and you actually get really sick from it. And you're out of work and you have no benefits. You have no sick leave, no vacation leave. So you have no dollars coming in. Oh, the moratorium is over. Didn't you hear they can evict you now? They can start the process. Don't feel safe. People don't want to wear their masks. People don't want to get vaccinated. But you got to take your ass to your high contact job. It's necessary. You want people to be empathetic and sympathetic to your situation? They're struggling too. It's necessary. And then when they start looking at it, they're like, well, you know what? I didn't make the decisions you made in your life. So I shouldn't be punished and be sitting in the same situation like you. You did this, you did that, you did this. I didn't do those things. So you need to go to the back of the line, and everyone else that's lived life correctly should get help first. You don't think that's coming? But you got time. Go ahead, stay asleep. Keep making the decisions. Gotta work it out. Faith. I gotta stop here because I'm too worked up. There's a second part to this. I'll save that for another day. It's heartbreaking to watch. Loyalty. It's the word of the night. What does it mean to you? How do you define it? Are you loyal? If you're not, I suggest that you find some things to be loyal to that are positive. Things or people. Are people loyal to you? Who are those people? You might want to readjust your priorities. It sounds good. You got all the answers. Got to make your own mistakes. Unfortunately, you're running out of time. You're running out of time. You got to find a way through. The thing is I don't want to say that it's never too late, because for some people, yeah, it's too late. Noah's Ark. Noah was building the ark. People are laughing at him. They're drinking. They're having a good time. Oh, stupid Noah. He knew that they were going to die. Couldn't save them. Some aren't too far gone. Yeah, you're going to have to make some hard choices. But hard choices come after bad choices. And after the hard choices comes a better situation. But it's a process. It's not immediate. It's not overnight. But you decide. The ark is being built. The church is on fire. But the church is you. So what are you going to do about it? Humble yourself. Put your pride on the shelf. Go back home, wherever or whatever you define home as. For me, that's G2, but I'm already home. Whatever your home is, find it. Establish loyalty. If there's no one that you have that you are loyal to, and they're not loyal to you, or these are toxic people, like the person in the video that was just egging her on, then you got to cut that tie. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to cut those ties. But I've told my story. When I first started going to OC, I was hanging out at my brother's house. It's a barbecue every day. It's drinking every day. It's video games every day. And it was so hard to go to class. It was so hard to do my homework. And they're just doing the same thing day in and day out. And they're teasing me for going home and doing the homework. Oh, you a square, you a nerd, you this, that, and the other. And sometimes, man, the shorties, the honeys, I don't want to go home. I want to hang. But I knew that I wasn't being loyal to myself. I wasn't being loyal to my future self. Delayed gratification. I can have a beer on Pacific Avenue or at the El Camino or Spain or at one of my timeshares. Yeah, I choose that. Be loyal to yourself first. Understand what loyalty is. It's not doing what you want. It's doing what you know you need to do. Even if it's the hard thing. Even if it's the thing that other people are telling you. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. You don't have to do that. You know, that inner voice tells you when you're doing the right thing. We can talk ourselves out of it. We can allow ourselves to say, yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't need that. I could do that. I am this. I am that. You know? This is my situation. I'm black. I'm young. I'm this. I'm that. So it just justifies me being in my position and not having to change and make the hard decision and walk the walk and talk the talk day in and day out. Because that shit is boring. But that's your progress. That's your success. That's your salvation. That is making sure that your church isn't on fire. build the arc of your life. And when you actually start building your arc, you will find people come to you. I'm Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. Until next time.